Looks like we're live. We are live. I see it clicking down. I don't see anybody with me right now, but I'm pretty sure if I just hang out for a bit, I can get some friends to come and join me. We can check out some stuff, get informed about what's happening. Let's see. What I got right here, first thing I can look at is the normal weekend weed read, 9/30/2023. This was from yesterday, actually. Yep, the U.S. senators have advanced cannabis banking reform bill for the first time. That's cool. So they can allow money to flow through their companies. That's cool. Let me check back here. Hmm. Members of the United States Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs voted today to advance legislation, the Safer Banking Act, which allows financial institutions to more readily establish relationships with state licensed cannabis businesses. I've heard a little about this already before reading this email right here. I've got the projector set up. I can also check out some videos and stuff as well. Um, let's see. Still hanging out all by myself. Let's see. I'm going to keep on reading. Although members of the House have passed an earlier version of the legislation, the Safe Banking Act, on 7 prior occasions today, vote marks the first time that the Senate members have voted in favor of the measures. I'm glad to see there's some kind of movement going in that direction. Um, there's a lot of uses other than the recreational use of cannabis. I'd like to see what we can do with the plant or put the plant to use like we know it can be used to make all kinds of textiles, um, clothing, and whatnot. It is a very awesome plant. I've actually been toking since I was like, I think it was somewhere in the late 12 or 13. I think that was the first time. And really, the first time, that was like some stuff that was scraped off a plate. Like, I don't even think it was real buds. I was probably just smoking some leaves. Ugh. As I've gotten older and I've been smoking for a while, I'm not sure that it is the best thing for my body. I'm kind of a habitual smoker, and I think there's something about it too. Like, whenever I'm sitting down and writing or doing some thinking, I will break up a bud and smoke it in my pipe. See, although members of the House have passed an earlier version of the legislation, the Safe Banking Act, on 7 prior occasions, today's vote marks the first time that Senate members have voted in favor of the measure. Normal's political director Morgan Fox praised the committee vote. This bipartisan legislation represents an improved version of the Safe Banking Act. It allows state-licensed cannabis business to move to more easily access financial services, such as opening a simple bank account, and it provides entrepreneurs with greater access to lending and other services that are available to other legal businesses. Yeah. The other thing about it becoming legal is it stops kids from getting thrown in jail and stuff for a freaking plant. Yes, it's questionable that it can uh, harm the individual's health, but there are so many other things that are hazardous to our health. I mean, the list is astonishing. Hey, Sandy, can I drop a link to that article? What I'm reading from is the Normal's. This is an email newsletter. I should be able to share this some. Let me look here. Uh, see, I'm where? How do I share? Oh, wait a minute. Can I do this? Can I do this? And will that work? Hang on. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I know what I'm supposed to do. I see the button now. Copy link. Awesome. Here it is. Let me post this right here. Oh, hmm. It's too large to fit into this chat box. Okay, hang on. I can figure this out. Hmm, that's interesting. Because really, I do, I as well would like y'all to share links and stuff to the articles and stuff that y'all may be looking at. Um, and if a link is too large to put in the chat, that kind of hinders that from happening. I don't think that happens all the time. That's actually the first time I've ever noticed that happening. Right. Yeah, the excessive link, the length of the link, the length of the link won't fit in 200. Yeah. Okay, I'll go back to reading. Let's see. I was down here. It's going to allow uh, these entrepreneurs to gain access to the banks. According to newly released data from the U.S. Department of Treasury, only about 12% of all U.S. banks and about 5% of all U.S. credit unions currently provide banking services to marijuana related businesses. Only about 12% of all of the U.S. banks. Marijuana businesses' lack of access to these necessary financial services creates serious threats to the safety of cannabis consumers and the employees that serve them. It limits transparency and accountability for those operating in this legal industry and severely hinders the ability of small businesses to effectively compete with the underground market and with larger, well-funded companies. According to survey data compiled last year by Whitney Economics, over 70% of participating cannabis businesses say that the lack of access to banking or investment capital is their top challenge. By comparison, only 42% of respondents cited state regulations as the most significant burden facing the industry, and only 39% cited the influence of the illicit market. Yeah, yeah, marijuana still has some hurdles before that can be a less stress-free business to operate. Let's see, what else do I got? What else? So we learned about what's going on with the weed. Oh, I got something here from the Satanic Temple. Satanic Planet brings ceremonial religious performance to Indiana state capitol. Whoa. Which, if you're not familiar with uh, the Satanic Temple, they are a group of atheists who are against Christianity, and they are making efforts uh, towards like uh, religious plurality in government. They are considered a religion, and it um, helps them kind of balance. I think it does help kind of balance out. Um, the amount of believers, the Christians, and it's more than just the Christians, like really the government becoming a theocracy, which I think that's where you would see the most authoritarian, kind of abuse of power. Let's see. Oh, it looks like Big Z has joined the conversation here. Let me see. Um, Sandy was saying it's all about the money. The banks are missing out on the profits. Yeah, the whole uh, system is not set up well enough for them. It doesn't have its doors open, even though they're passing laws to where they're expunging people's records or decriminalizing it. The system is still not set up to where you can run a business, and I think there's problems like with them handling large amounts of cash and stuff like that. It makes you vulnerable to all kinds of risk. People have to use cash everywhere, even for legal weed. Oops, buffering a bit. Huh? They have to hire armed guards for real, just to protect the cash. Big C's, I'm on my phone. I may not text a lot. Right on. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Um, I saw a news flash. I think it was somewhere over in New York. Over in New York, they had a sandwich shop that was very well known to the community. It reopened, and they are uh, having armed guards, and they actually have like rifles and stuff. There's a controversy with that, and some people makes them feel safer, and some people are like, I don't know if that's the safest answer, is having armed guards with the vest and rifle. Let's see. Can I see? Can I get back to that? Is it in my history? Can I show this clip? Let's see. I don't know. That was a couple of days ago. I'd see if I can find it quickly. Da, 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 16 minutes. Going back for your intelligence. Talking about last week. Trump fumes as Biden, blah, blah, blah. Oh. Uh, why are Texas teachers quitting? Hmm. Uh, mm, Still thinking. Trying to find this particular video. It's a short clip. Hmm. Yeah. Um. Hey, native atheist. Good morning. Howdy, y'all. Let me see. I might have better results if I just search for it in the search bar. Sandwich shop with armed guards. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is a 3-minute clip.
Sandwiches and armed security. One restaurant is creating a different type of dining experience to keep customers safe as concerns of crime and violence plague the city.
The original Jim's Steaks in West Philadelphia making a comeback, reopening under the name Jim's West. The additional security measures part of the restaurant's new identity, all to match the new reality.
It's Friday night. I'm Shari Williams alongside Gray Hall. The big story on Action News tonight is heavy security.
I'm gonna have to work on the projector thing.
Outside of Jim's West.
There have been lines around the block since the location reopened. People saying they are excited about these cheesesteaks, but when it comes to the security with those rifles, the reaction mixed about this.
Yeah, Action News reporter Brianna Smith now joining us live with what people are saying about what they saw while waiting for their cheesesteaks.
Well, Shari and Gray, some customers say they appreciate the armed agents to keep them safe when they are out and just trying to eat. However, others argue it's alarming to see an AR-15.
I'm so excited. The food has always been good.
In my opinion, the best cheesesteak in town.
Residents are thrilled the original Jim's West Steaks in West Philadelphia is back in business.
Thank you.
But this time, customers can expect to see armed agents out front.
The violence is spiked, and it's good goes up and down. You want people to feel safe and to be safe, you know. So when they come out and eat, they don't have to worry about no type of harm.
The lines are down the block, so while you're standing here in line, connecting with other people that you may not know, we got security right here just to keep you guys safe.
The owners hope their presence prevents crimes.
It's not just myself. There's usually other agents who are sworn and certified to be safe in Pennsylvania. To do security work, we are off duty if you know what they're doing. All of us are former military, police, law enforcement background.
Other business owners have hired armed agents too, including the Carco gas station in North Philadelphia.
As a business, if you want to secure your business and you want to make sure everybody's safe, you got to spend that extra money.
While some customers support the enhanced security,
Safety and good food is all that costs.
That's can y'all hear that very well? I see it hitting the microphone. That's wild, Sandy. I haven't been out to the West yet. I haven't gotten to see too much over there, or not at all. Over there in California, huh? Yeah. I do enjoy the city and being able to walk around to different places. That is, I've adventured like that quite a bit. I've gotten to do that. But the anxiety that I do feel at times, that can get overwhelming to me whenever it's on a daily basis, having to deal with traffic and things like that. It's unnerving, anxiety inducing. Like having to look over your shoulder and be extremely aware of your surroundings. It's the concrete jungle, baby. Oh shit. But yeah. But the Satanic Temple is going to be performing, or the Satanic Temple has a band. Lucien Greaves has a band called Satanic Planet. And I think Greaves has a band called Satanic Planet. And I think there's at least one song on there, but I think the drummer, Dave Lombardo, played the drums on the album, or it was just one song. I think it was the entire album. It's definitely out there. The music is definitely very, very interesting. I did enjoy that one. Um, let's see. The Satanic Planet, the band fronted TST co-founder and spokesperson Lucian Greaves performs a free public concert at Indiana State House this Thursday. This show was part of Satanic Planet's Let Us Burn, the Let Us Burn tour, aptly named and inspired in response to Christian missionary musician Sean Fushi's multi-year Let Us Worship tour, which was welcomed in Indiana's Capitol building. Yeah, this is that pushback to theocracy right here. I think I was made aware of Fauci going and playing on the in a government building. I didn't know too much about this though. Fauci, a preacher influencer, was joined on stage during his performance at the Capitol building by by the governor Suzanne Crouch. Fauci prayed over the lieutenant governor, telling the crowd that Crouch was initially concerned she might get in trouble for giving Fauci access to Capitol grounds. However, Fauci assured the crowd that Lieutenant Governor Crouch would be filled with favor for her proclamation of the gospel. Filled with favor she was indeed, as Satanic Planet submitted a request in May for their Let Us Burn tour to be allowed to perform within the State House as well. Subsequent back and forth, including a legal demand letter sent in June, forced the state's hand, and the event was finally approved. Whoa. Whoa. That is wild. That would be a rush. See, right there, that would be such an adrenaline rush to get to be able to do that. I think it's very creative what they got going on there. Sandy Wayne. It was sketchy after the earthquakes. Before that, there was a lot of revitalization going on. That looks really scary. I've only got to see earthquakes on the news and what gets shared on TV and whatnot. Absolutely devastating. That would be no fun. Sandy is also saying, I'd advise being aware of your surroundings all the time. Yeah. It is, yeah. Out here, I have to keep vigilant as well because of not only the humans, but the animals out here. We do have some that can be aggressive or dangerous. We have the rattlesnake, and we do have the coral snake. right? Absolutely zero fun. The earthquakes, I'd say any natural disaster is very uh, devastating. It's hard. How I've had to deal with natural disasters is through flooding. I lived on the coast of Texas and up in Seabrook. Um, I was right there on the coast growing up. I stayed in that general area for quite some time, and that was a big factor in moving more inland. I wanted to get above the sea level. Um, and we would it one of the last times, like, all the stores were shut down, and there was even like piles of food out on the parking lot where they had just tossed everything. uh there was all the traffic lights are out. There's no electricity, no running water. um and it sucks, and it's crazy, it's wild. I find it very disturbing. I've had a couple people share with me at times where they're like, I would like to see, you know, those things happen, and, be a part of that kind of trauma. They want to see that happening. And I find that very disturbing. And it shows a lack of empathy. And also, I think it's a mentality that it might be something that is a youth, an angst problem or something like that, where you're just wanting to experience something other than the day to day. I don't know how to really explain it because I never was like, yeah, let's have earthquakes and hurricanes and watch everybody suffer that is around us. Could have, Sandy is saying, could have been worse. I could have been stuck in downtown San Francisco with my coworkers with no power and people taking shifts to cool down the generators. Yeah, they had to have the market open, and I worked at Schwab. They had VPs on the roof with hoses to keep the computer floors powered. Yeah, yeah, that's wild. So, Satanic Planet is playing at the Capitol. Let's see, what else do I got here? Undo that. I didn't mean to do that. Let's do this. Let's see. A weekly wrap on Ted Cruz, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey, Senator Tommy Tuberville, and Senator Katie Britt. Let's see. This is from FFRF. It says, our objection to a recent Auburn University baptism seems to have ruffled some big political feathers. A university baptism? Hmm. Hmm. All right. That just are the first sentence of that is definitely something that is questionable. The Alabama governor and both of the state's U.S. senators, as well as Ted Cruz, have felt compelled to respond to our disapproval of the ceremony and of a religiously coercive community college president. U.S. Senator Katie Britt and Tommy Tuberville have recently spoken out against the unfolding drama between the state of Alabama and the Freedom from Religion Foundation, reports an Alabama news portal. Governor Kay Ivey responded with a lengthy condemnation of the FFRF's efforts. Now, Alabama's two senators have added their voices to the fray, voicing support for the colleges and condemning the FFRF for attempting to infringe on the facility's rights. In a statement to 1819 News, is that the name of it? 1819? Okay. 1819 News. I would like my news to be more current. Maybe like, 20 plus news. That would be, I think, a better name for a news channel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Power saver is going on. There we go. I saved power. We are plugged in. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go back and check over here. Sandy is saying, not to mention all the gas leaks in the houses that were burned down. Yes. Yes. Actually, I was an electrician during Katrina and Rita. And when that happened, there was a lot of houses that there were houses that burned down, and there was major malfunctions to where we're going in. We spent some time along the Orange and Beaumont area, which is East Texas, close border to Louisiana. There was I hooked up a lot of power to a lot of people that were, or I helped in the effort to get power back to people's homes that were just devastated. Sandy goes on to say, "Human squashed everywhere, missed that by 15 minutes. Figured I was going to die half naked. Oh my goodness." And had just gotten to Ken's and was changing clothes. No, I think, did that really happen? Wow. Yeah, it's devastating. It's a horrifying, traumatizing. Once you go through it, you don't want to live through it. You want to try to minimize the chance of that happening, and if it does happening, you have good ways to try to find shelter and safety. But really, it's basically everywhere. There's a certain type of natural disaster you have to be prepared for in whichever particular region you're in. And sometimes it's the people and the businesses that are creating the environmental hazard. I think it's Oklahoma or it's Arkansas, or I think it's Oklahoma, that has a chat pile where they're mining and their refuse, the stuff that was taken from the ground and left behind, these huge piles are very small particulates, small, and it gets brought up into the wind, and people, it has been harming people for a long time. That whole, like, there's a whole town that had to get away from that. It's horrifying to think that NYC just got more water than Hurricane Sandy laid out for them, and their systems failed again. Whoa, yeah, that's a good mention right there. That was a lot of water. I did see some of that footage where it's just pouring through doorways, every little nook and cranny and hole and doorway. mm, 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 mm. That is very hard to deal with. Can be. It's such a mess. Such a mess. Over 9 inches in a few hours. Right? It was a couple of years ago. We received 6 inches of rain, and like, I think it was a week period where it was just constantly raining really hard. And that was a lot of freaking water. And like, I'm up on a large hill, so water is always running down. That was a lot of damn water. 9 inches in a few hours? Hours. Yeah, there's some major flooding. And I have sympathy for those who are living in that area. See, I was also reading here about the FFRF and how there is some tensions building between FFRF and an Alabama, or two Alabama senators. Hang on. Am I understanding this all correctly? Katie Britt and Tommy Tuberville have recently spoken out against the unfolding drama between the state of Alabama and the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Alabama's two senators have added their voices to the fray, voicing support for the colleges and condemning the FFRF for attempting to infringe on the facility's rights. Britt outrightly condemned FFRF's concerted effort to get more Americans to turn away from God. Tuberville tersely tweeted that he was happy to be criticized for being overly prayerful. Oh my goodness. And I'm pretty sure that's not what FFRF is really trying to do, is not really infringe on their rights. They are more likely more concerned with making sure that these religious people are not infringing on people who are either non-believers or even people who are of other denominations and or faiths, different religious backgrounds, for religious plurality. I guess I hope people would stop arguing so much about religion and address the real needs for the people to prosper and thrive. Yeah. And I'm all for that. There are so many uh, issues with our society that need to be addressed. That you have these people that are very religious and they have the wealth and the funding, they have a vast amount of wealth, and they're able to run their businesses, and they are behind so many of these issues. So like arguing about like if there's a god or not, that like that interests me whenever it's a conversation and it's two grown adults talking about it, and there's an honest conversation happening there. Like, I enjoy those type of conversations. um but there is the fact that there is the Christian nationalists that do have quite a bit of influence on our government. And that's where I think that's a major issue, because I think if you can get through those barriers, I think the more major issues will be more productive. I don't know. You got me thinking about uh, this. Sandy says they do, but it isn't because God is on their side. It's because they have money. Yeah, and a lot of stupid, uneducated people sending them more every day. And there are those that run businesses here. It is a very complex issue. What all the issues that are with our society, and it's happening right here, where you have a university that is open to the public, and from what I understand, they want to have a baptism, or did a baptism, let me get back into this. Tuberville tweeted that he was happy to be criticized for being overly prayerful. Cruz added his unpleasant voice to the fray, even though the last time we checked, Auburn University and Snead State Community College weren't located in Texas. We pulled no punches in our response. We riled up the Murduchin. Oh, this is a word. Murdochin. Murduchin Media. We riled up the Murduchin Media too, the flagship print publication of the finally retiring media mogul, got some from the reprehensible alliance defending freedom to diss us for our constitutional endeavors in Alabama. Oh well, at least it got noticed. Tulsa paper mentions us extensively. Regional media also made note of our efforts. Skytook Public School recently removed Christian display from its classrooms after the Freedom from Religion Foundation alerted officials to alleged constitutional violations. The Tulsa's World reports Skytook Public Schools in an email to the Skytook Journal said an attorney from the Freedom from Religion Foundation notified the district of religious displays in 2 classrooms. As required by law, the district takes a neutral stance in regard to the expression of religion and followed legal counsel's advice in this matter. FFRF co-president Annie Lee Lori Gaylor, in a news release, added, by taking this action, the district is showing respect not only for our secular constitution, but for the rights of the students, particularly the non-religious and non-Christian members of the community, to be free from religious coercion in our public schools. It's nice to see our work is being covered so thoroughly and fairly. And I would be happy if people would just, had their cultural religion, it's as like a background of like where they come from, which I can understand that in a way, but I don't want to have that to where they're going to be making me be a part of it, or if I'm not a part of it, then I'm a bad guy in some way. That right there is the part where it's like, it's not cool. I don't want. Oh, hey, what's up, Captive Desk? Yeah, actually, Sandy and I'm actually going to be hanging out with Dave. I actually linked that in the description box. There is a link to the stream that's going to be happening. I'm going to go hang out over there. They're going to play with the Ouija board, and they got some books and things that are going to be happening over there later this evening at 7:30. I think that's Eastern time. Let's see. Yeah, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's whenever that's going to be happening. And I put the link down there in the description box. Yeah. Good morning, Dave. Good morning. Just hanging out, going through some emails and seeing what people are saying to me. Let's see. Got the dictionary word of the day here. Cascade. A soap that you wash dishes with. A succession of stages, processes, operations, or units. A cascade. That's the word of the day from your dictionary. Okay. It is a good one. I like how that one rolls off the tongue. Cascade. But whenever I hear that word, I think of the dish soap right off the bat. Now it looks like I've gone through my emails. What else do we got going on? What else do we got going on? Let's see. Let's see. What's happening? Yeah. Oh, let's see what this has to say.
At the sound of the beep, please don't leave a message. That's among some of the new and surprising phone etiquette advice. The unwritten phone rules have changed with technology and vary according to age, relationship, and context of the call. That's according to an article in the Washington Post. They're laying out some new guidance. Get this, voicemails are out of touch, and you shouldn't feel that you have to answer every incoming phone call. Brittany and I were talking about that this morning. Etiquette expert Diane Dotsman recommends texting first.
We should text before we make that phone call, meaning you can say, are you available for chat, or is this a good time to talk? That way it gives that other person a heads up, and if not, you can arrange a better time.
A Washington Post article is laying out some new guidance for phone etiquette. Phone rules have changed with technology and vary based on age, relationship, and context of the call. Some of the guidance says voicemails are out of touch and you should not feel you have to answer every incoming phone call. And what I have to say to that is my inbox of my voicemail gets filled up with spam crap. It's not even anything that's remotely linked to me in any type of way. It's ridiculous. And I actually have my voicemail set up to where I'm like, hey, you've reached KENBINFAM, and leave me a text. is um, Dave is saying folks should be primed. My Hue video was up Friday. It's at 180. Yeah, yeah. I actually have watched the first half of it. That talking about Hughes's background, and to give y'all some more context to this, Hughes has a challenge that if you play with the Ouija board and do these like demon seances, or talking about this supernatural stuff. If you get involved with that, then you'll have aliens appear or something like that. Um, that's awesome. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I I'm gonna enjoy that whole interaction for sure. Although I really wouldn't mind seeing some aliens. I wouldn't. If there was a way to make contact, you know, I would have done it. And I have attempted. I have asked them to come down. I tried thinking about it real hard. I just believed real hard. I was like, y'all are out there. You can hear me, right? Come here. But nothing ever came of that. Mm, I don't know. But I would say, though, with all these uh, UFO sightings and things, there's classified information that has been coming out in the news streams here recently. And I do think that if there is, this is a hypothesis, it's a hypothetical that if there is alien life that is in a distant spot away from Earth, it does make sense to me that they would be doing something very similar to what we have done, and what we've done, and then more possibly. And what if those little dots that they show flying around places and the jets trying to like stay in line with it and track it, uh, all those videos, if those are legitimate like that, it would make sense to me that they would be sending some type of drone. It wouldn't be a biological life form that was coming to visit here. I think it would be more likely that it would be a drone or some type of vehicle that would collect data, and we could uh, I don't know, that's my hypothesis. If aliens are legitimate, I don't really think they're visiting here in their uh, physical being. So I think it's more possible that they have some kind of mechanical way to traverse and be able to get data and send it back, just like we are. We send satellites out so we can see what's going on out there. And I think there is still a program going on to where we're sending a signal out uh, that's an audible one. I'm not too sure about that. Dave is saying better be some aliens or Hughes is hearing about it, right? They can't fly drones very well either. Yeah, yeah. I have seen some things in the sky that I can't quite explain, and I haven't seen explanations that of natural occurrences, but that doesn't mean that it's not a natural occurrence. Probably one of the most coolest ones was whenever I was out in Bastrop, Texas. There's a um, state park out there, and it has a very large hill, and there's a lookout point, and you can park and do some stargazing. There's very minimal land light. There's very little light pollution happening there, and we saw two lights moving in a way that were pretty. It was pretty remarkable. Oh, you got this. You got the fog rolling in, huh? Yeah. I woke up this morning and opened up the door, and it was colder outside than it was inside, which is always a pleasant thing to happen. It's really cool. I enjoy this time of year. I enjoy the things that the foods and things like that.
Doing that already, and that
Let's see. Phone etiquette is changing. Yeah, voicemail is becoming like a thing of the past. It's just, it gets filled up by nonsense. If I was getting calls from people that I interact with and I wanted to keep in contact with, those spammers are totally ruining that. It makes it to where I just go through and uh, delete all of it, because really that's all it is, and it gets filled up, and I have to check on it to make sure. Yeah. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, there's a baby rocker recalled due to suffocation risk.
parents, a physical safety alert that you need to know about this morning. Federal safety regulators are warning parents to stop using a certain bassinet immediately because it could put your child's life at risk. Now, take a look at your screen. The warning applies to the 5-in-1 rocker bassinets. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says they pose suffocation, strangulation, and fall hazards for infants. They were sold online at walmart.com and other websites.
Or 2 point.
They're like, just like, oh, there's this baby rocker that is causing suffocation. Federal safety regulators are warning parents to stop. Oh, okay. The name of it is called 5-in-1 rocker bassinets. So if you or someone in your family has bought a 5-in-1 rocker bassinet from Walmart, they have a suffocation risk. That's not something that we haven't gotten down yet. Why is that happening? We haven't made rockers for long enough to understand how to make this thing work. Let's see. Let's see. Also, too, one thing I've noticed, I'm not sure if I am right. I haven't looked into information about it, but I've started to think that my body interrupts the signal, and if
We're looking at sunshine.
Whenever
today, but it is definitely going to be hot out there. And I know a lot.
if I'm holding it, it can block the signal in a way, and whenever I set my phone down, it will pick the signal back up and then play. I don't know if I'm right about that. I have to look
A
up.
lot of us are really hoping for some very beneficial rain. We still have those extreme drought
Rain,
conditions
please.
throughout a lot of the Metroplex. We did see some improvement to the east of I-35. The good news is we are tracking a strong cold front, and that's going to bring cooler temperatures and also rain back to the area. But we're starting a new month, so we're looking back to September, and look at all of these red boxes. Those are all the days that we were above normal for this time of year. This was the second hottest September on record. We had just 5 days
brutal.
with below normal temperatures.
That was
While we are
brutal.
going to
All
continue
right.
to see temperatures trending 10 degrees above normal right through Tuesday. Check out your Wednesday.
Let's see.
Texas lawmakers are headed back to the state cap.
This one's titled Governor Abbott Calls for Special Third Session Focusing on Education. Texas lawmakers are going to the state capitol October 9th for a third special session. The focus will be on choice legislation. Governor Abbott wants to give parents a choice to use taxpayer funding in ways they see fit.
This month for a third special session. The focus, school choice legislation. The session begins October 9th. Just last week, Governor Abbott was in Dallas advocating for giving parents the choice to use taxpayer funding for education in ways they see fit.
One of the freedoms we believe in is the freedom of parents to choose what is right for their child. And that's what school choice is all about.
Public school leaders, meanwhile, are pushing back against school choice legislation. Educators from across the state were in Dallas Friday for the Texas Association of School Administrators Conference. They call for more state funding for public schools to cover teacher raises, safety upgrades, and to fund new strategies that will combat learning loss.
There are the lives of 5.4 million students at stake here. Public schools are the Statue of Liberty. We take all the children. We take them because we love them all, because that is where we make our mark. At the end of the day, this is about the children of the state of Texas.
If the Texas legislature can't pass a school choice bill in this special session, Governor Abbott says he's prepared to call lawmakers back to the Capitol again for another special session.
Roscoe.
I think I would need to become more informed about what is really being talked about right there to really have an opinion on it. Government shutdown averted. Okay. All right. What else can we look into? I like the Only Sky website. Let's see if we can find something in the comedy section. Okay, This is from Casey Carmen, an open letter from Sesame Street to Ted Cruz. This is back from July 5th, 2022. See, is it more current events? More current events. Whoa, where'd it go? I just pressed a button. Hey, what's up, Dr. Mordecai? Good morning. You find that reality is unacceptable? Yes, I would agree. There are some things that definitely need some sorting out, and we need some cooperation and some collaboration between these groups of people that are all trying to gain more power and more money and more influence. And instead of having that will to have more or be wealthy and trying to gain material possessions, should be about cooperation and people working together and trying to solve solutions, get solutions to the issues that need to be addressed. There are so many things that we need to all work together to fix. And we have people that are othering other people, and they don't get the idea of equality. Something else. Something else. I actually hit the back button on that. Okay, here we go. I wanted to see something current. See, Biden makes history on the picket line. Biden went out and hung out at the picket line and even said some words. Here's something from September 26 by M.L. Clark. War makes us terrible historians. What's this one about? Lessons from the presence of a Waffen SS member in Canada Parliament. I've heard about this somewhat. The Big Three meet at the Yalta Conference in 1945. Winston Churchill, Franklin Roosevelt, and Joseph Stalin. The overview says, a Canadian embarrassment involving a Ukraine World War II soldier given undue applause is being put to bed with a political resignation, but the underlying illiteracy in our war history needs a reckoning too. The fog of war is well understood phenomenon. It teaches us to recognize that there are many reasons we cannot access the full truth of a situation in the middle of combat. Sometimes the enemy is going to falsify data to demoralize outsiders and boost internal confidence. Sometimes our side is going to do likewise. Sometimes we cannot reach the site of a war crime to do a thorough investigation of its facts ourselves before being asked to make critical decisions about it. Sometimes evidence of past. Um, you know what? I just thought of something, and I wish I would have thought of it right at the moment. Captive Desk, Dave here. I want to add you as a moderator. Save, and now you should be in blue now. And I do want to encourage those who come and do this hangout that y'all can share uh, links to articles and things that we can talk about, and things that you're seeing in the news today. And also, you can share things that are happening on your channel too. Um, yeah. So yeah, if you're still here with me, you're actually in blue, and if you want, in the description box, the link to this stream that we were talking about here just a little bit ago. And there is a video that was just recently put out by Captive Desk that is talking about Hughes Ross and his ideas. Yeah, you got the wrench now, using blue. Dr. Mordecai is saying, I keep saying that I am voguing to put something going. I keep saying that I'm going to put something on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, we want to talk about something real. Want to talk about something real? I'm talking about something real. Like, um, this idea. I don't know how much it's true, and it's like a thought that is just recently started to occur to me. Like, I think I'm a part of like this big popularity contest in a way. You know, I do enjoy using social media to hang out with my friends and people I've met, and talking about different issues and things like that. There is a social aspect to it that I think it helps me be a more healthy person by participating. But I'm also an entertainer as well. I've thought of myself as an entertainer for quite some time. I've been making efforts to be on the stage. I have played on the stage. I have played shows It is what I enjoy doing. I like making these songs and things like that. That is been something I've been doing since I was a little kid, and building that ball of knowledge. And it feels like I'm like in this big popularity. Uh, I don't know whether it's right or wrong to think this way. It's something that is just recently like a new thought of mine. Like, where is my direction? Where am I heading? Where am I going? What, like the music industry is different than it was, 20 years ago. Like back whenever I was going out and doing a lot of shows, there was a lot that I was doing it on foot, like actually driving to the city, going to places, leaving promo packs, and getting uh, booked for shows. There was flyers that I would take and hand out. Like I I want to get an audience for music, for my music, for what me and Kendra do. That is something that we really enjoy doing. We we have been in practice for quite some time now. Like that we have rehearsed it now. I think 32 times, the set that we're working on right now. But I don't know what to do with it. Like the direction, like and how to gain that popularity to where really I have an audience. Because that is really fun. It is like this feeling of adrenaline. There's like an anxiety to it that just, it's addictive and it's enjoyable. It's fun. The challenge of it. Hey, Cosmic Kyle, what's up? Been enjoying the pictures you have been sharing on Facebook. I like the photography you've been doing. And you know what? You get a wrench too. You also get one. Boom. It should be set now that you are in blue. You got a wrench too. And you got a real camera yesterday. More cool shots to come. Looking forward to that. I really do enjoy visual stimulation and like looking deeply into a picture. Tobin is the wrench god. And here, all of y'all get a wrench. At least if you're desirable and you're not an asshole and you're not trying to shit on everybody, then yeah, you get a wrench. And with that wrench, it really, I do want to encourage y'all that you can share links to either stuff that is you've got coming up, and or if you've found news articles or just some kind of current event that is like um that you would like to share. please put it in the chat box and let's check it out. Sandy says, "Oops, you have at least one asshole with the rich." No. No way, Sandy. You're awesome. No, we don't need to ban nobody. We don't. Y'all don't. I got one too. I think we all do got one. You know. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, Cosmic Kyle here has been doing some photography that is over there on Facebook. It's been shared on there quite a bit. Some very colorful and vibrant pictures. I really do enjoy those. There's one in particular. I don't know if you've seen Kyle, but I've been doing some art and I've been doing some color pencils, and I have thought of an idea with one of the pictures you took here recently. It's like you're at the sunset, or no, the sunrise, and you're at the tops of the blades of the grass. And I have this idea that I want to take that picture and draw it and add like a grasshopper sitting on top of the blade of grass. Maybe it has one of those really long pipes like Ganondorf or something like that. I don't know. I saw that picture and I started seeing that image come through. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy art, is that unlocking of imagination, that getting to imagine things. It's fun to me. I don't know. I dig that kind of stuff. I've spent many hours in downtown Houston, where we have the art district, and just going and gazing at the different perspectives of people. It's just interesting. It's a fun way to spend the afternoon. Kyle says, that picture was so special to me. It was taken in my now past. Oh. My sympathy goes out to you. It is something. That that makes the heart ache. That is for sure. That is for sure. But as soon as I get I've gotten some projects taken care of, so I will be getting back to my using the colored pencils. We actually have a lot of art supplies. I have kids, and they're basically grown. Every once in a while, they do mess with that stuff. My youngest is messing with painting more here in the recent times, using the acrylics and the oils, and but there's a lot of leftover crayons. We got a big box of crayons, So I'm looking at all these art supplies and I'm like, they're just sitting here. Either I want to give them to somebody who's going to put them to use and use it up, or I'm going to. And if I do find somebody along the way, I might give some away to somebody who's interested in making art. But until then, I'm gonna keep on making some stuff. Kyle's saying, I wish I had artistic ability, LL. Besides photography, I want to draw. It, and that is actually on a topic that I've been recently thinking about here lately. I was referred a book by Carol Dweck, and it's largely about effort. There's just people who've practiced it a lot, and so if it's something that you want to do, I say go for it, because it has nothing to do with like if you're born with it, because that is not the case. Anybody can pick up the tools and create with it. It just takes practice to hone your craft, and just enjoy the time you get to actually to play with it. One of the things that I really enjoy about making art is the feeling of the brush or the pencil touching the paper, and that feeling. And like there's all kinds of different ways to, like, see, I would see your photography as an artistic ability. You are displaying a artistic ability that you already have, and you can grow that. You have an eye for what looks visually appealing, and those pictures are stunning pictures. The contrast between the colors. There's one that you had the fireplace. You had the fire pit burning, and it was very bright red and orange and darker yellows. And then you had the tree line, which was all black or very dark. And then the sky kind of peeked over it. It had the purples and the dark blues, and that contrast between those two colors. And you had where you had the fire pit with it being pretty much the center focus, which makes me think of still flame, which is a meditation. And like that it's a that having that ability to see that scene and be like, to frame that, to me, is an artistic ability. And you can take that to you can take that steps further. Like what I would do to make that picture that I was just talking about, you can do a grid, and you basically just draw small portions of it and fill in, which that one is a time consuming one, especially if you don't have a paper that has the grid laid out. Or there's the other way where you can uh, print out the copy of it and then put it on a light board, and then you can stencil it out, and then you can go back and add the color that you want. Basically, you make a coloring book picture. I'll draw it out and then start coloring it all in. I have a projector, so I can put an image up against a surface, and then I can go out and sketch it out, and then I can add in whatever whatever I imagine. It's fun. It's a fun way to get in touch with reality. And I'd say color outside the lines. Don't there is like this strive for for perfection. The artist striving for perfection. And in a way, you can make it stressful trying to be perfect, trying to make it exact. And I kind of let go of that and was like, it's more about the experience of creating the art than it is to make something perfect. I don't know. Dr. Mordecai says, I used to make signs like that. Yeah, using the grid or the grid is a good way, especially if you're going to be doing a sign that is like going to be posted up outside. It's like you got a big surface to cover. Draw out a grid. Take that time to do a grid. Oh, working with the projector. Yeah. It's a fun tool to play with. It is. I got to figure out how to get it darker here. And see now, like, even if I turn off the lights in here, the outside light right now is making it to where the projector doesn't really show. I'm going to have to figure that out. I want to be able to project and be able to watch things here with y'all. But yeah. I need a drink. I'm going to take a drink here. Holy shit. I think this might actually be one of the longest streams I've done. This might be a record today. I've been going on for an hour and 44 minutes now. That's what the little clock says right there for me. Yeah. So I think with that being said, I think I'm gonna stretch out my legs and go get on with some other responsibilities that I should be taking care of today. Get on with it. But yeah, I'm gonna be hanging out with Captive Desk Dave, and there's gonna be a stream going on later. There's gonna be some good times going on over there, and yeah, I wish y'all all well-being. And you switch to the plotter, Dr. Mordecai? Right on. Yeah, that's a pretty cool machine. I've seen other people who have had that type of machinery. That would be fun to play with. I do like tools. Tools are awesome. Make things much easier. But yeah, I wish y'all a good day, good night, wherever y'all are coming from, are going. To the future we go, and I look forward to seeing y'all on the flip side of things. I wish y'all well-being, and y'all have a good day.